There was a time when people looked at the United States as a beacon of hope. Our cities had soaring skyscrapers, massive public parks, and some of the world's best infrastructure. Today, we see crumbling bridges, abandoned buildings, and streets filled with decay. And believe it or not, this story has played out before, 1,500 years ago in the Roman Empire. In ancient Rome, public spaces were the heart of the empire. The Romans built monumental buildings, sprawling forums, vast aqueducts, and public baths that made their cities the envy of the world. During its peak, Rome was investing heavily in public works. Roads stretched across the empire, aqueducts delivered fresh water to the cities, and massive forums allowed people to gather and trade. These weren't just vanity projects. They were the lifeblood of Roman society. America had its own version of this. The New Deal and post-war era saw massive urban renewal, the expansion of parks, and investments in public transportation. People came from around the world, believing that America's cities represented the future. But just like Rome, as financial priorities shifted, these public works started falling apart. Today, America's parks are underfunded, its subways are crumbling, and cities that once boomed with industry are now filled with abandoned homes and homelessness. So what happened to Rome? Over time, the cost of maintaining the empire grew too high. Wars drained resources, leaders prioritized military expansion over social spending, and eventually, the money ran out. Public buildings were left to decay, aqueducts stopped flowing, and cities became ghost towns. Sound familiar? Right now, the US government spends trillions on defense, but struggles to maintain basic infrastructure. If we can't afford to fix our bridges and subways today, how did we ever have the money to build them in the first place? Could it be that the American economy is now too weak to support such projects? By the time the empire truly fell, many Roman cities had already collapsed. The Western Roman Empire didn't end in a single event, it withered away, its great public spaces abandoned because there was no money left to save them. And by the time invaders arrived, many Roman citizens simply didn't care anymore. That same apathy is creeping into American cities today. People no longer believe their government can fix things. Cities are shrinking, and young people are looking for opportunities elsewhere. If this trend continues, will future historians look at our abandoned malls and crumbling highways the same way we look at Roman ruins today? Rome's fall wasn't just about barbarian invasions. It was about a government that stopped investing in its people. America still has a chance to change course, but the question is, do we even have the economic strength left to do it? Because if history teaches us one thing, it's that great empires don't collapse overnight. They crumble piece by piece until one day there's nothing left to save.